All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the Akim out there, spreading this truth like wildfire in all truthfulness and in all sincerity. And shalom to the rest of the hopeful elect out there. You know, now that you got the situation over there in Haiti that Babylon caused, now there might be a mass migration, a maritime, which means over the sea or has to do with the sea, mass migration from Haiti into the U.S. Via Florida. And let me take a look at this video.
That driving factor is the deterioration of conditions in Haiti. So what are we doing to prepare for that wave and to ensure that these people are not paroled?
I mean, these devils are actually causing it because they're fucking destroying Haiti. When you look, you do your research. Well, there was a Twitter post that had a picture that showed the leader of the gangs. Now we know the president and shit, the prime minister, they're puppets of Babylon, right? They were installed. When you do your research, you know this, or if you've been keeping track of what's going on, you know this. But anyways, yeah, they're puppets of Esau, they're puppets of Babylon. But when you look at also the leader of the gangs, his nickname is Barbecue, he is shown wearing a Masonic necklace. Let me get that. It's on Twitter. Go to my page. Go to my page. Because I retweeted it way back, but I should be able to find it. Huh. Maybe it's... Hold on. Hold on. I don't know where it's at exactly. Um... yeah, it's before that. Because otherwise I'd be able to find it by now. Yep, this right here. I actually reposted it. Yep, breaking. Of course, readers added context. We know who those readers are. The so-called fact checkers. But anyways, the cannibal gang leader Barbecue was spotted, which they do cannibal shit, so by definition they are cannibals, right? So I don't know why they're saying that. But basically, right, the cannibal gang, Haiti gang leader Barbecue was spotted wearing his favorite necklace. Get prepared to witness a story that was already planned, get created in your face. Yup. Get ready. So they control both sides. People's following them because they sick of the puppets in charge of Haiti and shit. The U.S. puppets. But not knowing that he's also a puppet. He's controlled opposition. So it's a whole puppet show with people dying behind each puppet. And that's why they're fleeing the country to go to Babylon, of all places. Because the country, that the government, which the government of that country is the one that's causing all this shit. So now we're gonna have a so-called Haitian Levite, aka Levite, migrant crisis. And how you know they're Levites, man? Cruelty is in their weapons of cruelty. Let me go into that real quick. Show you they're the Levites. They're just wicked on this side, man. Except for the elect. The elect will repent. You know, the ones of the members of the elect that ain't repented yet will repent. But let me get Genesis 49. Go into Levi or Lawya. Simeon and Levi, it's Lawya in the Hebrew, our brethren, instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. Verse 6, so my soul come not into their secret, unto their assembly mine honor be not now invited. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self will they dig down the wall. And they're mostly in Haiti, but also scattered. You gotta keep that in mind, because verse 7, cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. But all the tribes are scattered at this point, though. So most of these Haitians, they're Levites. Some might be Judah, but most of these Haitians, they're Levites. So the 12 tribe chart is accurate. These instruments of cruelty, is that witchcraft that they practice. This is talking about a future. This is a future prophecy that wasn't fulfilled back then. And plus, they're how you could tell they're Levi's was the old priesthood. How you could tell they is, you know, they, they're the wicked priests now. They fell away, man. They're doing voodoo now. A lot of them, not all of them, but they are known for doing voodoo. But yeah, and they're and according to and the cannibalism also fits the curses. So if people are saying, how could they be Israelites? They're over there eating each other. Well, guess what? Guess what? This is how the Deuteronomy 26, 54, and 55, and 56, and 57 curse ends. It ends in cannibalism. Deuteronomy 28 and 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children which he shall leave. Verse 55, so he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children which he shall eat, because he hath nothing left him in the siege, and the straightness wherein thy enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates. And they've been doing that for a while, like Babylon and other so-called Western powers, especially Babylon, though, they've been doing shit like coups, invasions, even causing earthquakes with their HAARP weapon. Even shit like that. Backing up dictators. They've been doing all that, assassinating the president. Like, I believe they set up Delvino Moise, with his wife. And his wife helped set him up, and it was because he didn't want to push, the jab. He didn't want to push. He didn't want to push that shit, man. The jump shot, right? He didn't want to push that on the people of Haiti, so they took him out. But it's been the U.S., and France. They've been keeping the people of Haiti down. When you do your research into it. So it's kind of like a sort of a siege. I'm punishing them because they rose up in the 1803 Haitian Revolution. Levite, kicked that ass. That's what they get. They're punished for it. Verse 55, so he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children which he shall eat. And this is not the first time that cannibalism has occurred among our people. It also occurred back in Jerusalem during the siege of 70 AD by the Romans. And it occurred during the siege of the Babylonians of Jerusalem as well. So yeah, Israelites have ate each other out of hunger. And so have Edomites. So have other races of people. Which Edomites is these so-called white people. Primarily. Mainly y'all are Edomites. But verse 55, so he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children which he shall eat, whom he shall eat, because he hath nothing left him in the siege, and in the straitness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates. Verse 56, the tender and delicate woman among you, which will not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, towards her daughter, which has already been happening. We are under a continual siege. You gotta remember that. But it's about to get worse. They're about to kick it up a notch because they know their time is short, and it's going to result in this. Verse 57, and towards her young one that cometh out from beneath her feet, and towards her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for the want of all things, secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates. Con, let's listen to this, some more of this.
Into the United States as the administration has done with people on the southern border, but instead are repatriated back at the dock at Port-au-Prince.
Congressman, we're doing a number of things to ensure that we're keeping track of the situation and we're prepared. At the moment, we have not yet seen large numbers, what we would characterize as a maritime mass migration. But we are alert to that
mass migration, though.
We are alert to that possibility. I think you're right that the driving conditions in Haiti could very well press more people. So we've recently approved some additional assistance that we can provide to the Coast Guard. I I think that has now fully been approved. We'll be providing notifications if we haven't already to provide additional shipboard assistance.
Because I've talked to the Coast Guard, and what they say would really support them would be more naval vessels, would be DOD support. And because I think you correctly said that there is an anticipated mass migration here, there are specific legal authorities that we can access that I would implore you to access. Specifically, George W. Bush signed Executive Order 13276. And in that executive order, there is the ability for any president to designate an anticipated mass migration and then get gray hull naval vessels into the Straits of Florida to deter that migration and then to repatriate those people before they get to Florida.
But, listening to that video, there's already laws. Well, it's, for one thing, it's hypocritical because they caused that fucking crisis over there in Haiti. They make it look like they didn't, but they did when you do the research. And basically, what they're experiencing over there is Jacob's trouble. And it's just the beginning of it. And it's going to spread. As it is written, in Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And if the elites of Esau let in the some Haitian migrants, if they let in some Haitian migrants, some so-called Haitian migrants, that'd be a fulfillment of prophecy. For one, let me get this one. Micah 4:10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There thou shalt be delivered. There Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. There you go. Daughter of Zion, all 12 tribes, man. Jeremiah. Salakia. Jeremiah 14. Therefore, behold, the day is come, saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Verse 15. But Yahweh Hashem Yahushai liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again unto their land that I gave unto their fathers. And that land of the north is also talking about, Babylon the Great. It's talking about, which is located where? in North America. That's why it says Isaiah 14:17, which is a man. Lucifer's a man. A type of man, the ruler of Babylon the Great. As in Isaiah chapter 13, it talks about Babylon being destroyed like Sodom and Gomorrah with fire. And then right after in chapter 14, starting at verse 1, it says, Isaiah 14:1, for Yahweh Hashem Shai will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And verse 2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh Hashem Shai for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And then it goes on to talk about Lucifer, who the world thinks is the spiritual demon Satan, but it's not true. Lucifer is a man, a type of man. Really Esau, because Esau runs, Babylon the Great, as shown in Jeremiah 49:50, man, when it talks about the least of the flock, drawing them both out. It talks about them both in the exact same way. And there's other ways to tell, but that is one way to tell. Also, the fact that Esau is going to rule at the end of the world, according to 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. But let me read these verses right here. Isaiah 14:12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Verse 13, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh Hashem Shai. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. In the sides of the north. North America, which is where? To the north and west. It's in the north and western part of the earth. So on the sides of the north, verse 14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be, and the mount of congregation is Yasharallah. I'll send also, which is the Israelites. Yasharallah is just how you say Israel in the Paleo Hebrew. Verse 14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, Yahweh. Verse 15, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Verse 16, they that see thee shall nearly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Verse 17, that made the world as a wilderness. You see that right now going on in Haiti. Who made it like that? Who's the puppeteers behind all that shit? You better believe it's Esau. Because it is. That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. That's Esau right there. And he's sitting upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. North America. In the land of the north. So that's Esau. And this is Babylon the Great. And that's where the 12 tribes, I wouldn't say all of them, but like the bulk of them would be delivered from. That's why you saw a lot of Northern Kingdom immigrate over here. You know, Zebulon and Asher, a lot of them throughout the years. And before that, Ishkar, but then you had Zebulon and Asher immigrate over here in large numbers. And now you got the so-called, a potential so-called Haitian migrant situation, you know, which they're the tribe of Levi. So the Most High Yahweh, you know, he's gathering those Israelites that are going to be delivered from Babylon. He's gathering them into Babylon to either be delivered or judged, because 2/3 will be judged. So most of the people that's coming across the border, whether it be southern and northern border, you know, if they're Israelites, well, we're talking about Israelites right now. Talking about 2/3 versus the 1/3. Majority of Israelites coming over here to Babylon, you know, will be destroyed. But some, the 1/3, will be delivered. And Lucifer simply means light bearer, by the way. But yeah. Hey, if this happens, hey, if the elites allow them in, allow these so-called Haitian Levites, which they could, but if they allow them into Babylon, you know, hey, maybe Esau's, these average Edomites last straw, like, oh shit, now you're letting more, because they see Haitians. Well, Haitians are the same people as so-called black people, it's true. Because they're just another tribe, the tribe of Levi. So they see it as, oh, they're letting in more so-called black people into this country. Ah, you know, that's how these average Edomites see it. So there's gonna be backlash. That could be, it could be one of the straws that breaks the camel's back. Could be one of them. Because you know, these devils, they got a perpetual hatred. So we'll see. We'll see if this is the event that brings them in. But it could be. You know, they could be arriving. Well, they would be arriving just in time for JT to kick off here in Babylon. So while they think they're escaping, you know, JT, Jacob's trouble, while they think they're escaping that over there in Haiti, you know, nah, not so. Huh? Can't escape it. As it makes clear in Amos 5 and 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh Shem Shai, to what end is for you. The day of Yahweh Shem Shai is darkness and not light. Verse 19, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and the serpent bit him. Verse 20, shall not the day of Yahweh Shem Yahushai be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? Verse 21, I despise your feast days, and will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Verse 22, though ye humble, Salakio, though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them, neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Okay, that goes into something else. But verse 20 though, verse 19, verse 19. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. Ah, shit. So you can't escape this thing, man. If you ain't of the elect, you're gonna die. As it is written, Zechariah 13 and 8, really. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai, two parts therein, the land of our captivity. That's the land that's being referred to. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. Verse 9, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai is my power. So there you go. But yeah, and a lot of them are people fleeing from, a lot of them are people fleeing from the gang leaders, the gang leader, and the criminals that were let out. But hey, some of these criminals could sneak in with those migrants, and you could see a little rise in crime, and then, but because the criminal element was let out by the leader of the gangs, who was controlled opposition, who is controlled opposition, so they're orchestrating these devils, these Edomites. The self-proclaimed so-called white man is mainly the elites are orchestrating it. I'm not saying your average so-called white man is orchestrating it, but the elites are. The average so-called white man don't know what the fuck going on. They just react to shit. They've been benefiting off the system, although that's being chipped away. Because the elites of Esau are greedy. They don't care about their own people. And they know our people was scattered among their people. So they're also targeting them because of that. They don't really know who's who. They're carnal people. But they know that you got Israelites scattered among Esau. But also they don't give a flying fuck about the rest of the house of Esau. The rest of the house of Esau, they're like collateral damage to them. That's why. That's how the house of Esau is falling under the curses now. Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Yahweh Shem Yahushai putting these curses on our enemies that hate us. And so both the elites of Esau and the peons, everyday Edomites, the rejects of the house of Esau, which is majority of them. Both of them know that they're through. Like your average everyday Edomite knows, has a gut feeling, or knows. Not really that, but can tell by the news he's getting that that he's about to lose his so-called country. And he's looking at Jake sideways and blaming Jake. It's y'all's fault. And he also blames the elites. So because the elites basically play friend of Jake, right? They act like they're our friends, but they just use us. But the average everyday Edomite can't tell. They can't tell they can't tell that he's just seeking to please the poor. They think, because they don't know, average Edomite, even though they're starting to find out, a lot of them still can't really comprehend how we're the Israelites. In fact, some of them think they're the Israelites. Well, when of course they would be wrong, but they don't know the scriptures like that. they've been told all their life, that Yahweh Shai, who they ignorantly know as JC, and the Most High, Yahweh, who they ignorantly know as God, are so-called white men. And so that's what they believe. But, and they believe wrongly. But, and ignorantly, yep. But, yeah, man. You got them, they could sense that their country is slipping away. It's no longer, America is no longer the top dog. The West is no longer the top dog in the world, You got Russia, China, all these other countries, which Russia's east, they're ruled by Edomites too. But they're a different type of Edomites. But basically, they see that the West, doesn't have as much sway. And America don't have as much sway as they did before. They see all these immigrants from these different nations and Israelites, so-called black people, Latinos, and Native Americans coming into the country, and they don't know that it's prophecy that also he would keep to himself all nations, but and they would try to cleave. Matter of fact, let me get that. That's in Habakkuk. Not only, Yasharallah, be all so the tribes would be gathered in Babylon, which is America, but also this. Also, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5, and speaking about Esau, because Esau is compared to the Chaldeans, who were the rulers of Babylon, the elites of Babylon, the ruling class of Babylon. So the elites of Esau are the ruling class of what? Babylon the Great. Now you get it. But basically, it's in reference to them. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yeah, also because they behave like them, but worse. Basically, they've done worse than the Chaldeans, but they behave like them. That's why they're compared to them. But let me read on. Yeah, also because he transgresses by wine. This is verse 5, Habakkuk chapter 2. He is a proud man. Neither he keepeth at home who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is his death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And this is the way that this devil does it, man. And the elites of America also rule Europe as well. They rule the European Union countries. And yeah, they got some sway over Russia, but not as much. But they rule the EU countries / NATO countries, and they rule Babylon. And that's how they rule the world. That's how they work. They rule the world from the whore and the beast, which is the whore is Babylon the Great, which is America, and the beast is the EU / NATO countries, the 10 horns, the 7 heads. Which you could look up that breakdown. Revelation 13 breakdown GMS. But basically, yeah. These devils, they're like the Chaldeans, man. Or Chaldeans. They're doing the same thing. And it's not the first time they've done it. Keeping to themselves all nations. Fuck. And yeah, let me get 1 Maccabees 1:41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. Verse 42, and everyone should leave his laws. This is what he's trying to do, but it's not working out. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Verse 43, yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath, the Sabbath. Verse 44, for the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land. This was the forced Hellenization. There's a forced westernization that's coming, a forced globalization, really westernization that's coming through the RFID chip. And this is one of the crises that they created in order to justify it. Because now I could see the pattern. If they let in these so-called Haitian migrants, some of them who could be gang members, if they let them in, they could be rival gang members or something. If they let them in, there's going to be a crime wave, and all the so-called Haitian migrants are going to be blamed for it. All of them. They're going to be demonized. Or the bulk of them. And I could see Florida shipping them off to areas in the north. You know, the more so-called liberal, states rather. The more so-called liberal states, I could see Florida doing that. What Texas was doing, and also what I could see happen, what he's also doing, Esau, man, you have to understand their their heart is deep, man. They're gonna say this is how they're gonna rope Jake, the Southern Kingdom, into getting this seed once they crack down. This is how they're gonna do it, cause they're gonna say, "Oh, we gotta know who these people are. They're causing crime, you know, you know, they're causing chaos and shit like that." We gotta know who these people are. We don't know who's who since they're everywhere. You already got the so-called African immigrants, including from West Africa, which West Africa is mostly Jakes, with some Hamites, I guess. Y'all already had them. Now you got the tribe of Levi potentially coming over. A lot of them. And the elites of Esau, they're heaping unto themselves all people so that all should be one people. But the average Edomite is not with that. The average Edomite is going to demand a solution because they're not with that. And in my other video, I talked about a false flag that Esau might be planning. This month into the next, which is the so-called month of Ramadan. And they could blame it, oh, Iran set them up, because there's info about that coming out. Iran is planning an attack. There could be a cyber attack along with it, It could be a combo attack. But we know that they got something planned. But basically, they could stage that false flag attack here and on that Gaza aid ship, the U.S. Gaza aid ship, and say that Hamas did it on the behest of Iran or something. Which behest just means like at the request of Iran, basically, or for Iran. And that we gotta shut down. Not only that, we gotta do something about the borders. So here's what we're gonna do to make sure no illegal migrants come in. So I could see, remember the Cuban refugee crisis? I could see something like that happening, except it would be the Haitian refugee crisis. I could see that actually happening. So one of their solutions, their main solution would be okay, if they want to stay in the country, they gotta get hipped up. They gotta get hipped up. It's for national security reasons. Anyone that enters the country, and this could happen under Biden, it could happen under Trump, but I'm thinking like it could happen this month, like I said, or it could happen later. But I believe it's bound to happen. I may be speaking as a man, but I believe it's bound to happen. But basically, they could say, okay, how we're gonna tell if they arrived at a port of entry is they will be required to get a C-hip at the port of entry. So anyone who does not have a C-hip at the port of entry, at these different ports of entry, which just put the C and the hip together, and you know what I mean. Anyone that doesn't have that, you know, they're going to be looked at as an illegal, as an invader, and treated as such for our national security. So then they could say, see, we're letting in only the immigrants that we can trust, and we're and we're chipping them up. We're gonna make sure they're not criminals. We're gonna chip them up. To say something like that. And the ones that don't have it, you know, round them up. And anyone that looks like they could be a migrant could be detained by law enforcement. Boom. Boom. Our temptation sets in. Because now, not only is there pressure on the northern kingdom to get it, but also on the southern kingdom. Because Haitians, so-called Haitians, are our brothers. They're the brothers of you so-called black people here in America. And so they can use it to put the pressure to sort of herd y'all, as well as the northern kingdom, so-called Latinos and natives. So to herd y'all, use it as an excuse, you know, Esau, man, to herd y'all into taking this C-hip, man. And they may promise you stuff like, oh, it's a new way to buy and sell, or you'll have oh, we'll put, maybe they'll say this, we'll put some universal basic income on there of about $1,000 or something per month. If you take it. And that's how they're going to push it. And then it's going to go from that. So their own people are going through it. So, well, it's going to go from that to crime prevention, fraud prevention, welfare fraud prevention on down the line, man. But yeah, with that, I hope this video was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire. Abba Ball, that's a Babylon. Abala Adwamium, that's these other nations. Abala Gawayim. Well, Abala Adwamium means death to these Edomites, Salakia. Abala Gawayim, death to these other nations. Why? Abala Ayabim Nawa, death to our enemies. Which y'all know who this is, those who watch my videos. Shalom, stay strong, Ababa Ball, Wah Yasharal forever. Shalom.